Right, so let's get into it. We are going to get a little more in depth on how to become a realtor, the process of getting your real estate license, probably the easiest part of being a real estate agent in general. Now, I want to talk about picking the real estate school that you feel would be best. And honestly, it really doesn't matter. There are online schools that I know of plenty of women that have attended. Luckily, the real estate school that I went to is located in South Carolina. So if you're in South Carolina, Real Estate School for Success was a really great school, only because I liked the professor that I had, professor or teacher, or whatever you want to call it. But he was great. His name was Frankie Griffin. All right, so let's do a quick run through. What we're gonna do is look for real estate schools near us or online. And I just typed in real estate school and a lot of real estate schools in my area popped up, but we're just gonna go to Real Estate School for Success. So you're gonna see the available times for in-person, and you're also gonna see online. We want online. Here, you're gonna see the requirements you need to even have your license and take the course, and also the breakdown of each course. And then I decided to go with a package deal. They have individual courses, but you're just going to spend more money that way. So you're going to click on package deal, look at the requirements, the classes, and then check out, put in your information. Once you fill out everything and you pay, you are going to receive an email with the invitation to real estate school. Click on it. It'll have your password, email, sign in. Here you can't really see any courses because I'm done, but I can still see my transcript. So of course you can see the classes that I passed, and how it's broken down is exactly how it will be broken down when you're taking the courses. You just click play and go along with the process. If you're needing a book, ask the administrator on that forum for a book and she will send it to you. The same thing for Unit 2. She sent it all to me in one day, and that was it. You need 90 hours for Module 1, which was anything state related. And then I think it was 60 for the second module for national. So state is going to take the longest. Nationals went by pretty quickly. The main thing that I can say would be to not think so much about it. Like, I was so focused on just, I want to do so good and I want to make sure I really, really understand this stuff and I have it down pat. Honestly, you're going to learn more once you actually get into it. Number one system that helped me was this site called Prep Agent. This is another thing that's going to cost money. Prep Agent has an option where you could pay for it for a month, or you could pay for the whole year. I paid for the whole year because you're not going to know when you're actually going to finish. You're not going to know how long it's going to take. I'll show you another thing that helped me. So this book is the South Carolina Real Estate License Exam Prep book. And what I love about this book is it is broken down and sectioned into everything you would possibly need to know for the exam. Any terms, any disclosures, anything dealing with contracts, offers, anything that you need to know is in this book and nicely broken down. It's not an overwhelming amount of information. It is just the information you specifically need to know dealing with that. And then the plus about this book that I love the most are the tests in the back. These tests are also broken down just like the information in the book. So you can go through each section and test yourself on things dealing with national information, things dealing with contracts, things dealing with land, things dealing with disclosure forms in your brokerage. And there was also math, which is something that hung me up the most when I took the courses. As you follow along with this book and take the test, the most amazing part that I loved the most was that all the way in the back, you can find the answers to every single part of the test that you took. And not only does it give you the answers, it also gives you a detailed breakdown of why that is the answer. Once I began studying for my exams, this book, along with Prep Agent, helped me so much. The first go round, I passed state and failed nationals by just a few points, but I went back and used this book, studied and took the test, and 2 days later I retook my test and passed. I promise you, you won't regret it. Check this book out. Certain terms, just make sure you know those terms. And it's probably like top 10 terms would be like what a contingency is, or a buyer's agent is, what a listing agent is, your broker, what a brokerage is. You're asked so many questions. Really, that's how you learn the questions that you ask. Once you start actually practicing, and after you get your license and you sign with your brokerage, really that's how you learn. That's how you're gonna know really everything, is the questions that you ask to the people who have been doing this. I know I asked my broker a lot of questions. She helped me through my first deal, which I'm also going to share that because that was just mind-blowing for my first one. But I text my broker every single day, multiple times a day, just questions. Let's get back to real estate school and the exam. So you're going to complete those hours, and then once you get done with those classes, this is where it was a little confusing for me because it was online and not actual in class. Once I finished my modules, you're going to get a congratulations, you completed modules 1 and 2, and it was going to also provide information on how to sign up for the exam. This is where it was a little confusing for me. You follow the directions on how to register for the exam, and then you pay online. I believe mine was $30 or $35 to take the exam. I paid the $35 to take the exam, waited for my date, which I believe, I gave myself like maybe 2 weeks, just so I can study. It was at Midlands Tech, in one of their testing rooms. I passed state, and then I missed nationals by like 3 points. Okay, so I'm like, okay, we can do this again. Now, if you fail, you have to pay again to do the test. Okay, so I just went ahead and did mine like 2 days later. It will show you what you missed, like the type of questions that you missed. So mine were mainly just the rules on what a real estate agent is supposed to do. And mind you, these questions will be very tricky, but pay attention to the words that is in the question. They will give you probably about 4 or 5 options, and maybe possibly 2 of those would be an option, but only one of them is correct. Okay, so you just got to pay attention to how certain things are being worded, and pay attention to how certain things are worded in those possible answers. Then I passed, and I'm like, okay, I didn't receive anything. Like, I didn't get a paper saying, what my score was, or congratulations, or anything like that. I ended up calling my school to let them know that I had passed. And then she had emailed me the documents stating I had passed the module 1 and 2, state and national, for the class exam. Advice for you to do is to first, you're going to go to LLR, which is Labor Licensing and Regulation. So let's click on that site, and it's going to take you to the main site for Labor Licensing and Regulations. And you're going to scroll down and find the category that you want to apply to. So in this instance, we are applying for the Real Estate Commission. So click on that. Okay, so now let's scroll down, and there is a link for the background check. Also the requirements, how to apply, and fee information. But first, I want to have you look at the criminal background requirements, because that's important. Okay, so on this, it says that you cannot submit your fingerprint without submitting your application first, which is true. But you don't have to have all of the documents in your application for you to do that. And what I mean by that is you can actually go ahead, print out the application, fill it out, send it in with your application fee, and they will go ahead and start your file and send you through an email the instructions on how to get your fingerprinting. So you could go ahead and get that done if you wanted to. Okay, so next, let's go down to fee information, because knowing what you need to pay is also important. So when you fill out your application, make sure you send in the $25 application fee. And then it also talks about how much the examination for your PSI exam will be and how much it will be if you have to retake it. Okay, so let's go to the initial application and scroll down. What we want to click on is application for salesman, property manager, and broker. And you can also do it online, but I like the paper version to send in better. Okay, so here you're going to check salesperson, look at the requirements. You are also going to have to submit a background check, your high school diploma, a copy of it, any transcripts that you have, GED wise. I have my GED, so I sent that transcript in. You're also going to want to state any disciplinary history you have as far as felonies. When you were applying for your real estate license, you cannot have any serious felonies on your background check. And then on this paper right here, they are going to run a background check, but they would like for you to basically explain if you do have any felonies, why, and what the reason for it would be. What I would advise for you is to get a transcript mailed to you from the court that your case is in. So you can call the court, give them a case file, and tell her you want to get a transcript for your case. Now, you are going to be charged per page for that transcript, but it only took just a few days for me to receive it. And I just threw that in the vanilla envelope with my application along with the check for my application fee. All right, so on this last page, this paper is just stating that everything that you said on this application is true to your knowledge. Also, whether you are a U.S. citizen or not, this is going to need to be signed by a notary. I would advise to you to get it done maybe at UPS unless you know someone. I would also call to make sure someone is there, because they are not there all the time. They're there for certain days and certain times. So I would just double check to get that done. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Get this completed and send it in and you're ready to go. So let's review on pricing. All right, so our real estate school was going to cost us around $644 for the package. The class exam was going to be roughly around $35. And then we have our application fee needs to be $25. Remember, our background check is going to be $55 for the fingerprinting. And then we have our PSI exam, which is the actual exam for your license. That is going to be $63, and any retakes that you have to redo again will be $55 every time you have to retake it. In total, that is going to be roughly $822 to possibly $1,000, depending on any retakes that you are going to have to take. Also, not including any additional money for your transcripts or additional money for any other documents that you're going to need. When I say I had no clue how much all this is going to be, I had no clue how much all this was going to be. I know I can't be the only one that's thought I just have to take this class, I pass the exam, and we're good to go. No, so many things you have to pay just to get started. And I wanted to be able to let people know, just before you even get to the brokerage part, you're going to spend money. Keep in mind also that if you fail the 4th time on the exam, you have to take the class all over again. All over again. If you fail the 4th time, you have to take it all over again. I don't know if that is different in every state. I know here in South Carolina, I was told if you fail the 4th time, you take the class all over again. So just keep that in mind. Don't be deterred from what you want because you keep failing. I know someone who failed 9 times, and she passed, and she's like a top producer right now. And this was way before I decided to get mine. Don't even take that as a failure. While you're taking your classes, just study whenever you possibly can. And I wouldn't even look or think too much into it. Don't stress about it. When you stress about it, you are gonna psych yourself out so much. I hope this video was helpful for you. Next video will be about the brokerage. What to do once you've completed everything and once you have passed your exams. You technically are not licensed until you sign with the brokerage. So we're gonna get into that next on how different they are, the cost, and what to do when you go on your brokerage interview. See you guys next time for more realtor tip. I'm Talia Gray, and I can't wait for you guys to continue on this journey with me.